Dear students, I know you are very familiar with my previous videos. So in those videos, I have discussed with you sentences, tenses. Today I am going to teach you one more topic, that is dog finds his master. Today I am going to begin the first lesson. Before going to begin the first lesson, I would like to introduce about myself. I am your English teacher. I am Manjunath Tambi. Yes. So welcome to the text part. So it is your first lesson. Dog finds his master. You know, already some dogs are kept in the home, and some local breeds are there. Those dogs are wandering in the street or wandering by the roadside and wandering somewhere else. So you can see so many dogs. One such dog wants to find his master. One such dog means that dog wants to find his master because it wants to become, loyal to the loyal servant of the man. So this idea is given in this story. So let's go line by line. Okay. First, I would like to make model reading. Foxes hunt alone, never in packs. Once dogs too were their own masters and lived the way foxes did. They lived in freedom until a dog was born who was not pleased with this way of life. He was sick and tired of wandering about by himself, looking for food and being frightened of those who were stronger than him. This is the model reading of para number 1. So let's discuss about what the meaning it has. Foxes hunt alone, never in packs. Okay, what do you mean by pack? Pack means group. Pack means group. Here the author is going to describe you that fox always wants to hunt alone. It never goes in packs. Here fox never goes in packs. While it was hunting for its prey, so he never goes with a group. So whenever he wants to make hunt, to feed his belly, that time it only goes alone. Yes, this idea. Once dogs too were their own masters and lived the way foxes did. Once what happens, dogs followed the same routine what the foxes did. Even dog also went for their prey or for their hunting alone. So after that what happens? They lived in freedom until a dog was born who was not pleased with this way of life. They lived in freedom. Who lived in freedom? The dogs lived in freedom until a baby dog was born who was not pleased with this way of life. So when it gave birth to the baby dog, then that time it never pleased. Pleased means happy. Pleased. It didn't get happiness. What didn't get? The dog didn't get happiness because it has to take care of the baby dogs. So that time for going hunting to catch its prey, it is very difficult on those days. On that time, it was very difficult for the dogs. So that is what. It's not getting happiness. If it wants to hunt something, that time it left their babies. Who left? The dog left their babies because to hunt the either a bird or rabbit or something else. So this was the crucial thing for the dog. He was sick and tired of wandering about by himself looking for food. Sick. Sick means what? Not feeling well. Not feeling well. what? Not feeling well. He was sick and tired of wandering about by himself, looking for food and being frightened of those who were stronger than him. So while the dog is in search of its prey, that time it is wandering everywhere. That time those work or those tasks gets bored to the dog, because to hunt something, either it is a bird or rabbit or something else. He was sick and tired of wandering about by himself, looking for food and being frightened. So while he was wandering for the food, the time it was frightened. Who was frightened? The dog was frightened of those who were stronger than him. If the dog sees those who are stronger than him, that time it gets fear. Frightened. Frightened means fear. Frightened means fear. Who got fear? When the dog sees more than a stronger person than him, the time dog got some fear, because it may hatch something. While the dog was wandering and while the dog was in search of its prey or hunt, the time what happens, if any animal who is stronger than the dog, that time it gets fear. Who gets fear? That dog gets fear. So that is what it cannot resist. Who cannot resist? The dog cannot resist it. So this idea was given. What happens? So one thing you should keep in your mind, that foxes never hunt in packs. It hunt in alone. And this routine was followed by the dog until when the dog given the warn. After that, what happens? Dog gets bored because of to wandering here and there because of their food. The time it gets bored. So, and sometimes the dog gets feared if he sees more than stronger person than him. That time it may harm to the dog. So this idea was given in para number 1. Let us discuss para number 2. He thought for a while. Here he refers dog. He thought for a while and decided that the best thing for him to do was to become the servant of who was stronger than anyone on the earth. He set out to find such a master. See here. He thought for a while. So, while these things are happening in the life of the dog, the time it started thinking itself. Who started? The dog started thinking itself, decided that, and immediately it took the decision that the best thing for him, so best thing for the dog is that to do was to become the servant of who was stronger than anyone on the earth. If there is any strong person on the earth, I want to be a servant of him. What it decided? I want to be the servant of those who are stronger than me, or those who is stronger than on the earth, stronger on the earth than anyone on the earth. He set out to find such a master. So from that day, when it decided, from that day it decided, and it is in search of that kind of master. Those, what kind of master? Stronger than anyone on the earth. Stronger than anyone on the earth. It is in searching of strong person or strong animal. It wants to become the servant of such strong person or strong animal. So that's what it set out, and it is in search of that kind of person. Yes. He walked and walked. He met a kinsman. See here. Kinsman. Kinsman means relative. He walked and he met a kinsman of his, a big wolf who was as strong as himself. He was fierce, and full of fear. He was fierce. Where are you going, friend? The wolf asked. He walked and walked. Who walked? The dog walked and walked miles together, far away, because he wanted to search search the stronger person on the earth. So for that it walked and met a kinsman of his. Kinsman means relative. So while he was wandering, then he met a relative of him. Then a big wolf. Who is the relative of him? A big wolf. Big wolf. Wolf is also looking as similar as the dog, but there is a drastic change in wolf and much change in the dog. Big wolf, who was as strong as himself. As compared to this dog, and the dog decided that he is stronger than me. Okay, he was fierce. So when we see the wolf, we get some fear, awful, like that. He was fierce. Where are you going, friend? The wolf asked. Then the wolf asked to the dog that, where are you going, my friend? Then what the dog replied, let's see. I am looking for someone to take me up as a servant. So for what reason I am wandering here and there, I want to become the loyal servant. I am looking for someone to take me up as a servant. So if anybody accept me as his servant, so I am searching for him, or he should be stronger than anyone on the earth. So I want to become the servant of such animal or person. He said so. Would you like to be my master? Wolf, the dog said. Then the dog said that, so I am searching that kind of animal or that kind of person. Would you like to become my master? Dog decided that the wolf is little bit stronger than him, so it can protect me. So that is what it decided, and it asked that, would you like to accept me as your servant? Okay, then why not? Why not means of course. The wolf said that of course I can accept you as my servant. And this agreed upon. The two of them went on together. So when agreed, the wolf is a master and the dog is a servant. That time both are wandering together for hunt. They walked and walked. All of a sudden, the wolf lifted his nose. So while they were wandering in the forest or somewhere else, all of a sudden means immediately. What happens? All of a sudden, wolf lifted his nose. Wolf lifted his nose and sniffed. Sniffed means smell. And all of a sudden, the wolf lifted his nose and smelled something. What is that? See here. Yes. Sniffed and darted quickly. Here, darted means move quickly. Darted. Move quickly. Darted means move quickly. As soon as it gets the smell, the time wolf started running as much as possible quickly. So what happens? See here. Snipped darted quickly off the path into the bushes. So while it was wandering in a plain area, the time it went as deeper as into the bushes and crept deeper into the forest, and it was running deeper into the forest. Who? This wolf. The dog was very much surprised. You know, already what happens? The dog accepted him as his boss. So once it started darting and it went deeper and deeper into the bushes, the time it gets a surprise. Who gets a surprise? The dog got surprised. Yes. Dear students, this much is enough today. So what happens? Let's see you in my next video. Thank you.